I watched her silently, always in the shadows, never letting her catch sight of me. God, if she did, I wasn't sure what she would do, or what I would do. The woman I'd become after leaving her was no longer the one she'd once adored, or possibly loved even. I was unhinged without her, frantic, obsessed with her, almost to the point of no return. I'd let my past lure me away from her, and she'd been hurt in the process. The loss of me from her life had almost broken the beautiful girl before me, and all I could do was stand by and watch. Haley was so good, so naive and innocent to the dark place this city could be. New York City wasn't the glamorous, awe-inspiring place they often showed on television and in movies. No, it was home to the darkest side of crime. Rapists, murderers, perverts. I knew that firsthand. I would never allow that side of my life to touch her. Never. Somewhere, somehow, this sweet redhead had gotten under my skin, while every other woman I'd slept with had been a passing interest, if that. Haley had always been more. I'd let her past my walls, dated her even. The almost 2 years we'd been together had changed me. That was the only way I could describe it. The life I'd been born into, however, wasn't fond of attachments to anyone from the outside world, as they so aptly referred to those who weren't privy to the dark, seedy underworld of the New York syndicate. I knew trying to keep Haley from their always present eyes would be a waste of time. They saw everything. My father had eyes on all of us, even when we didn't know it. It would only be a matter of time until they found out about her. And when inevitably they did, well, I had yet to see another way to protect her. So I lied. I lied to push her away. In doing that, I'd broken that heart that always had loved the broken in me. The sad, lonely little girl I once had been. Even the salacious slut I was in the bedroom. She loved all the parts of me, even those that I thought were too depraved, too dark to see the light of day. Haley had saved me in more ways than one, and she didn't even know it. I watched, rapt as her long red hair blew into her face, her head tossed back as she laughed at something her friend said. Dialing in on the camera in my hands, I noticed a flash of black ink scrawled down her wrist, and my chest caved in at the sight. My baby girl hated needles. Had she really been so angry at me that she would go to such lengths? And what kind of tattoo had she gotten to help rid me from her heart? I had to know, I realized. I had to know every little piece and part of her, or I would go crazy. But if it were possible, I had to make her see I wasn't the same girl who'd left her 6 months ago. I wasn't completely rid of El Familia or their dark influences that had kept me from her before, but I was hell-bent on breaking their hold on me as soon as I possibly could. Hopefully with her by my side. Turn around. My mind wared with my heart in an inner battle. I knew I'd never win. My heeled boots clicked across the hardwood floor of the local dive bar that Haley seemed to love, now that she'd reached legal drinking age. Smiling to myself, I remembered the first time she had tasted a sip of my beer and the tart face she'd made at the taste. That's gross. How does everyone drink that? She'd snapped the words at me from across my kitchen island on one of our first nights together, her eyes filled with sass. But I just rubbed my lips over her temple as I whispered, "You'll get used to it."